John Frederick Palmer, 77, of Niles, Ohio, passed away in peace on Wednesday, July 7th, 2021, surrounded by his family. John, my father, was born on August 13, 1943, in Calcutta, Ohio, to Myrtle Marie Sievers, age 29, and John Wilford Palmer, age 28. He was the third of 8 children and the oldest son. John often shared of his childhood and spoke fondly of his youth. As a teen, he was best friends with his cousin Jerry, seen here at Jerry's wedding, where John was best man. John was actually quite athletic, and in high school he lettered in basketball and track. He graduated from Beaver Local High School in 1961. During high school, John met Ruth at the youth group of First Baptist Church in Niles, Ohio. Ruth wasn't so sure about liking him since he was a redhead, but John pursued her and they began courting even after Ruth and her family moved to Liberty. Here they are in Washington, D.C. while visiting John's older sister, Donna, during their dating years. After high school, John briefly attended Youngstown State University and then went on to Baptist Bible Seminary in Johnson City, New York. Here he is with the class of 1964, which his sister-in-law, Charlene Gibbs, later minor, also attended at the same time. On June 13, 1964, John and Ruth were married in the church where they met. It was the first wedding that Pastor Frank Chittick performed, and he said to them, "It better be a marriage that lasts." And it was. They just recently celebrated their 57th anniversary. In 1965, I was born, their first child, David John, which changed the trajectory of their lives. They moved back to Niles, and their second child, a daughter, Kimberly Renee, was born in 1969. With a son and a daughter, their family was complete. In 1975, John began working at Packard Electric, later Delphi, where he retired in 2008 after 33 years. John was quite the handyman, and he used those skills to keep the terminal presses running at Packard. He even received compensation for his suggestions for efficiency that saved the company money. Throughout his life, John has always served in the church that he attended. As a young couple, he and Ruth joined her family in planting a church in Girard, Ohio. And then later, with their young family, they returned to First Baptist, where they served as youth leaders for many years. In 1983, John and Ruth became members of Faith Baptist Church, where he served as a deacon and trustee for 25 years. Over the years, John also served as Sunday school teacher, choir member, and once again, even with the youth. He said that always kept him young. Throughout his life, John enjoyed the great outdoors, hunting in his early life, boating, and actually gardening in his later years. Being a handyman was a blessing to family and friends, and even a stranger along the freeway. He enjoyed working in his garage and tinkering on anything that he could do with his hands. John had the biggest servant's heart and was always serving others, from mowing a lawn or shoveling a driveway to being a guardian for troubled youth and an adult with a disability. Here he is with his good friends, the Risingers, helping them host their cooking show podcast. John was a true example of how to unconditionally love God and others. John came from a big family, and he married into a big family, so he was always been surrounded by family, which he enjoyed spending time together. The first weekend of August was always the Palmer reunion that began in the 1930s. He was a devoted husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, and friend. Besides his parents preceding him in death, his oldest sister, Donna, died in 2019. He is survived by his beloved wife, Ruth, me and my wife, Jen, who live in Rancho Cucamonga, California with our family, and his daughter, Kim, here of Niles. John is survived by 5 grandchildren who he truly enjoyed, each holding a special place in his heart. Kim has 2 children, Taylor Renee and Sierra Nicole, and Taylor married David Venezuela in 2020. David and Jen have 3 children, Sarah Josephine, Johanna Marie, and John Levi. He is also survived by 6 siblings, Audra, Alice, Jim, Harriet, Edith, and Marilyn. And he is survived by many nieces, nephews, and friends. John truly left behind a legacy of faith and will be deeply missed by his family, friends, and all who knew him.